Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video. Now, I'm just eating my overnight oats that I just made, because you can. I got the diesel heater on because I'm going to go get some wood, and I don't know, it didn't feel quite cold enough to put the burn on. But yeah, I need some wood because it's going to be like 2 or 3 degrees this weekend, so it's dropping right down. I'm at my dad's and I've got loads to do on the van, and this is going to be the last weekend, proper weekend, that I've got to get the van ready before Scotland. Although, tell a lie, I'll be, as I said, going up to my friends in Anglesey on the way up, with which I'll be doing a few jobs there, but not much. Mainly just seeing him for a week or something before heading up further into Scotland. I've got a whole list. We've got a list of things to do. I've got 2.5 days here. I've got to leave on Monday for work Tuesday, and that is the list. We've got do a full service on the van, finally sort the handbrake on this damn van, fit the ladder on the back. I have a ladder that's ratchet strapped to my chassis, which was a great idea, apart from the fact that you have to lie on the floor to get it out, and if it's muddy, that's not fun. And the only reason I didn't mount it on the back, like everyone else, obviously I can't mount it on the side because my van's stupidly wide anyway, and that would just cause so many issues. Couldn't mount it on the back because I need to get to everything on the back, because obviously my back has everything on. But I've come up with a way to make it removable. Hopefully it's going to work. And yeah, we're going to try and fit that. I've also got some burner paint to paint the burner with. Lots of stuff in the cab on the dashboard. I've got a little VHF radio, handheld walkie-talkie thing like everyone has, but one of the Baofeng ones. And then I just want to kind of redesign everything so everything fits and works smoothly in there. I've also got to move the inverter. So the inverter is in my battery cupboard there. Eventually, in a few years' time, I plan to have another battery bank next to it of the lithium batteries. If you didn't know, I did DIY lithium batteries here. I did do a video on it, but it vanished in my files. So I will do another one about that, probably this winter when I've got some time. Just give me some time to make one, because if I'm going to help people, I want to put some thought into that video. The inverter didn't work very well in that cupboard anyway, because it gets hot, and in the summer all the electronics are in there, so everything gets really hot. So I'm going to mount it under the floor. It's still inside my van. I've got a big 100 amp relay that has studs, not spade connectors, for my B2B. I'm going to cut the B2B line and put that in line so I can flick it on and off, because the Sterling inverters, the Sterling B2Bs have no easy way of turning them on and off. You can buy the control panel, but they're like 30 to 50 quid I think, and I don't even know if it turns it off. So I just thought buy a £5 relay and run some cable, which I've got some of, and I'll put a little switch on the dash so I can flick the B2B off while I'm driving. If the sun comes out, I'm like, right, or if there's a hill and I'm like, I need some extra power, turn it off. And then an extra thing, which I might do at my friend's when I go to Anglesey, because he's got more tools for this kind of thing, and I might not have time, basically. But I briefly mentioned about it in last week's video when I was painting the floor at Rich's. My floor in my cab is rusty, and that's because the water gets in through the vents at the front of the van on the scuttle panel. Common design flaw on these vans. Even though I sealed it all up and welded it up, it's still getting it somewhere. It's just known for it, and even if you fix it, it will come back. So my aim is to stop it getting in there in the first place. So I'm going to make some little rain covers for them, essentially, just little metal vents, so the rain goes over the vent and drips off onto the bonnet, rather than goes inside the vent and pools and then gets sucked in and causes damp. And so I'm going to finish eating this, drink my tea, and then we'll go chop some wood. I've got to go into town and get the filters for this. The GoPro's working again. It wasn't the GoPro at all, it was the charger. Anyway, it was the cable. So put a new cable on it, it's charged now, so we can use a GoPro. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to stop rambling on and we'll get on with this video, and I'll eat this. So, got to take my washing next door as well, and do some washing, and then we can chop some wood. Yeah, gotta love the sun. Lots of rabbits along this hedge line. I just saw one go in. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Great, just went and looked back and I didn't hit record, did I? Anyway, I just said we'll take a quick detour to go look at the sunrise. And also it was only 10 minutes actually chopping wood. And I go on an hour-long walk most mornings anyway, so chopping wood ain't that big of a chore really. Gets you a bit out of breath, but hey, that's exercise. Don't we all love that? I've been watching videos lately and we pay to get machines to do things for us, or things that are easier in life, you know, like diesel heaters and things that are just more convenient for the everyday user. But then we pay to go to the gym to then get exercise. What? Why don't you just not pay anything at all? Scrap the things that do the work for you and do the work, and you'll get the exercise in return, and you don't have to pay for it. The world is messed up. But anyway, what I was saying before I realised the camera was off is that I've always said Oxfordshire and the Midlands pretty boring in terms of views, but when the sun comes out, don't you just love that contrast? You probably can't see it very well on the GoPro, but between the green, the light greens where the sun hits the tree, and then the dark greens on the shade, I don't know, it just creates a really nice warming autumnal feeling. I don't know, it's really nice. And I don't like when everyone complains about the weather, because when everyone around me is complaining about the weather, I feel like a bit shit because the weather's shit. But it's not shit, it's just raining, and rain is a positive thing, so we should see it as a good thing. I mean, not so much in this country, I know, but you got to be happy and appreciate the little things in life, right? But anyway, I just came to see the sun, which is now hiding behind that tree. And thought I'd soak up some sun before I head back, and then we go off to town to get the bits for the van. There's the sun. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? The weather's not miserable. It's chilly or wet, but it's positive. Right, let's go back because there's someone there. Don't like people. Yeah, right. Let's go back to the car, I'll take you into town, we'll go get some bits, some GSF and Eurocar parts. Oh, I don't need some lugs. Hopefully I can find some in town. Anyway, catch you in the car in Lenny. Let's go. I was just doing a couple of filmy bits of the trees and stuff, which you were just about to see now. And I turned back and that lady was just there. And then she did a U-turn as well. Although, that is an English thing, isn't it? In other countries, they just like to say hi to people. But for some reason in this country, we don't like to see people. It's a strange mentality we have in this country. Anyway, on to the shots of B-roll. Good job, guys. Some of this is good kindling. I'll go get some more of this wood tomorrow. This is lovely. See, this time of year, up until about December, the wood's really good because it's recently been summer. But come January, February, March, the wood's been wet for 6 months and it starts to get through. Oak's always good all year round. It's so hard, the wood does not penetrate it. It can be rotten on the outside and you split it and it's bone dry and crisp on the inside. So oak's always a good shout in those early months of the new year. But yeah, the beginning of winter, the wood's the best, so if you can get as much as possible, store it, then you'll be good. So it's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm leaving some small bits, some big bits. Doesn't have to all be even, partly due to my axing, but also because I'm not that bothered. It's good to have a variety. Sometimes you want lots of little small ones to get it nice and hot, but sometimes you want some big ones to just tick over for a few hours, you know. Most of these will be small ones because I'm splitting them. The night logs are the whole ones usually, but sometimes they go through. This one's got lots of knots in. Oh, I got 2 of these knotty bits. We'll see how well this one splits. Probably not very well. Not very well if you don't hit it. Hello, Lenny. Good old Lenny. More fuel efficient than Rose, that's for sure. Oh great, that's inside. So first port of call is GSF and then the electrical centre, if not Halfords, and they're all on the same road. So that's good. Right, all done. Let's go back. Got the 2 filters, didn't get any lugs, couldn't find any, but I think I'll have to just make do. Oil filter, fuel filter got. Oil arrived at my dad's yesterday when I was there, just on time. And yeah, let's go do a service. Oh why Mercedes did you put it there? Be interesting to see how this is. This is 7,500 miles of driving, this is. So not the longest change really, kind of what you should do. I think Mercedes recommend like 30,000 kilometers or something ridiculous, but anyway. Yeah, this is, I think it should be okay just to pour straight into the new one. Sometimes if they're really bad, pouring it in means you just fill the old filter, the new filter with crap. So I'm now going to cut through all this pretty quickly because I've decided I'm going to start a Mercedes YouTube channel for the Mercedes enthusiasts out there, Mercedes T1 especially, and obviously just things about my van and things we learn along the way, build a little community on the Mercedes side. I'll be setting that up later in the winter and I'll obviously tell you guys about it because I know there's a few of you that have joined over the course of me having Rose and, you know, making videos on the T1s. But they don't do very well on this channel and I'd like to do more of them because there's not many out there on YouTube. I think it would help a lot of people, so I'd like to create a YouTube channel dedicated especially to the 310D but overall T1s, and I'll go to more in detail about servicing. I'll do a video and about changing clutch slave and master cylinders because that's what I'm going to do, and I'm also going to do one about gear linkages and basically anything I have to do. I'm going to film it and create a rough kind of how-to or, you know, guide to changing or fixing certain things on these vans. So, but for now, jump through all of this and we'll get on with the next job. Now the bloody rain's here and the sun, but I think it's going to rain, so I might move my inverter. Okay, 10 minutes later, sun's out, so let's go. So here I'm onto the handbrake, and what I'm doing is replacing the cables, which are old and seized, and the springs in the drums, which are the only last two things I haven't replaced. So my idea was it should work, but it didn't. They all release now, none of them bind up, but the handbrake still doesn't work on the driver's side. And I've since learned that third-party aftermarket shoes do not work with Mercedes for some reason, so you have to buy the actual genuine ones. Luckily I have my old ones, so I'm probably going to be getting them relined next year and going on. But again, this is all about Mercedes stuff, so I'll go into this when I do this on the other channel when I make it. So after refurbishing all the brakes yesterday, I came in and then painted the wood burner, and man, does it look so much better. And then today's job was to start getting on moving the inverter. So this is what this time lapse is about. You can see me just with the head torch over and over, moving all the cables, reorganizing it all, but I cable tied everything out of the way, so it was all nice and tidy and looking much smarter. And then while I was down there in the subfloor moving the inverter, that's where my Sterling B2B is, so I fitted that relay and ran the cables to the cab. And then here you can see the switch just hanging out the dash. Not the prettiest, but I do soon plan to get a secondary switch panel there for all auxiliary items. I then have fitted a new USB socket, because it originally had a 12-volt socket that wasn't wired in. And now with my new sat navs, which I'll get into in a minute, I needed an extra USB. So I got on making this panel to extend and support my new sat-navs, because my phone is great for Google Maps and organic maps. I like to have options when it comes to maps, and I've heard a lot about Road Lords, and you can put in your size. So I bought a cheap little Android phone and installed Road Lords on it, so I can use a bit more of a reliable, and it is a really good driving app. And then I painted that little panel, just made it out of metal. And then while I was waiting for that to dry, I fitted my Baofeng radio using a right angle bracket that I squeezed together to make narrower and screw screws into the dashboard, and that worked really well. And then I've got the little receiver thing on the sun visor. So then the paint was dry on the panel enough to screw it in, so I attached my TomTom, which is just a cheap one, and I like having it zoomed out so I can see where I am in the country. And then I've screwed the phone case through and to this mount, which is on my dashboard, and then I've got a magnetic holder for my phone, so I can just pop it on, and then I plug the cable in because that goes to the stereo, which gets my music through the lightning port. And that's the refurb on the cab, looking very smart. Good evening, everyone. So we've just got back from town, had a lovely dinner thanks to my dad. As you will have seen, we've had quite a lot done today. Yeah, I've only run it at half power so far because I'm absolutely fine. You get the odd sunny day and I'm back at 100%, and topped up the water all just off the sun today because I haven't moved the last few days obviously. But yeah, the sun's amazing when it comes out, and that's why the tilting solar's amazing, because the solar's been tilted all weekend while I've been here. And I was seeing like 500 watts today, so that was really nice to see. And the burner is also heating the water very efficiently now, because it was frosty this morning, as you would have seen, and I had the burner a bit hotter, and it got the water, well, the water was already warm from the night before, but only at about 30 degrees, and we got it to about 40 degrees, which is more than the burner copper pipe system has ever got it to before. I will be improving it next year, but it was just proof of concept for this year to check it all worked. I did it in a rush and didn't use the correct tool basically. Yeah, wood burner is a must, and I'm so looking forward to Scotland this winter. I've got 3 weekends and 4 weeks of work to go, and then once I've done 4 weeks work I'll have enough money then to go up. That's basically what's determined. If I had the money now I'd be off. But yeah, so 4 weeks left and then I'll be off to Scotland. Well, off to Anglesey to do some more van jobs before I then head up to Scotland. Hope you're all staying along for the ride, and I'm gonna go to bed now. Well, get ready for bed and watch some stuff, and I'll see you in the morning. I've got some little jobs to do on the van because I've ticked everything off my list. I've been well surprised how productive I've been this weekend. So yeah, tomorrow I'm just gonna like clean the chassis and do my checks and make sure I've got everything from here. Check the oil level again before I leave and just double check everything, make sure we got everything, because I'm not sure if I'm coming back to my dad's yet, so got to make sure I've got everything. But yeah, that's all relevant for you guys, and I'll see you in the morning. So, good morning everyone. More like afternoon now. I've just spent the morning editing a video, and now I'm cleaning Rose's chassis. Under here, I just wanted to show you how good the lanyard guard was, and still is after 6 months. That's it repelling all the water. I've just wetted it down to kind of soften any mud that's on there. I know it doesn't look that bad here. When you go under, well, to be fair, it does look pretty tidy on the camera, but I can see little bits that I just want to get off. So I've got a soapy water here with a brush, just an old brush, and it works really well for scrubbing all the mud off, and doesn't get dirty really quickly if you just rinse it out. So yeah, let's crack on doing that. So, hello everyone, it's late and I wanted to finish this video before the day ends, and I've only just got here because there was about 40 minutes worth of traffic getting out of town because I needed to get some fuel. All just for fuel. Anyway, what I was saying is, quick thing first, I've replaced the padlocks on the ladder with these little pins. I saw them in someone's video, I think it was Connor, Project Amber, but I can't remember now. But I never knew they existed. A little pin with a wire, and you just pull it apart and lock it together. So they replaced the padlocks, which this car is lighting up, and that's their little lock there. And then I drilled the holes out in the bottom of the ladder so that when you slide that through, that pin, not that you can really see, but that pin just sits like that through the hole in the ladder, and that means I don't need any keys to get into the ladder, and it means I'll use it more often. I never usually use it for one night, but here I am using it for one night. And they just hook onto the bar there like the old ones did. And the other reason was I didn't get the ladder mounted. That's not because I didn't get time, although really I wouldn't have. It's because I realised to take the awning out every time you'd have to take the ladder off, which would just be stupid, so I've decided against doing that now. And it's going to stay underneath, which is a pain to get to, but it's there if I ever need it. Yeah, so that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy it, please do make sure you hit the like button, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below, and I'll see you next week. I need to stop saying honestly. Anyway, see you next week. Okay, this is mad stuff. So one time I came in and the van was filled with smoke. There's no smoke in here. However, the burner's been warm all day since I put that massive thing on. It's now cold. I've opened the door and it's still going from last night. Same log. That is the same piece of oak that I showed you last night. Absolute madness. This GoPro's got terrible low light, but it is there, trust me. And then there's one I put on this morning. I put a little half on to get it hot,
And then I put another whole one on, just a small one. One of the ones I got the other morning. And man, it stayed in all night. So now all I need to do is open the bottom door, put another one on, and let it get warm. Because I did some washing and it didn't quite dry because the sun didn't come out today. Anyway, as I said, see you tomorrow. See you next week.